All right, hello everybody. Thank y'all for jumping on. We're gonna go ahead and get started here in just a minute. But as people come on, we ask that you guys drop your city and state and your location, country of origin, wherever you see us from, or wherever you see this video, what time you see it. We are the Blank Spot, and today we're going to be talking about our sublimation paper and ink bundles. Okay, our sublimation paper and ink bundles. So I'm gonna give you guys some time to get on. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you share the video. I'm gonna do some double tapping over here, and I'm gonna share this video to our private Facebook group so we can get some traction on here, guys. Do me a favor once again. If you are brand new, type a number 1 in the comments so you can let us know where we're tuning in from. So I'm gonna be talking about a couple of different variations if you guys are somebody who is doing sublimation. So if you are new to sublimation, 1 second. I'm on a new computer, or a different computer. So give me a second. There we go. If you're new to sublimation, I'm going to ask that you guys type a number 1 in the comments. If you're new to sublimation, type a number 1 in the comments. That's anybody who's new to sublimation, who's wanting to get started, or someone who's recently gotten started, but they're not really getting their feet on the ground. Okay. That's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to talk about some ink and paper bundles. So sublimation is going to be the topic of today. So happy Saturday, everybody. And whenever you see this video, once again, drop that city and state. We are the Blanks Spot. We're Sublimation Blanks, t-shirt transfer, also adhesive and banner supplier located just outside of Columbia, South Carolina. The reason why I came on here today is to make sure you guys know exactly what we have on our website, in our possession, and in our hands. Most people, when you come to a live like this, or even you visit a website or come to a live for one particular thing in mind, okay? We want to let you know that we have lots of things specifically or especially for crafters. If you're in the crafting realm, if you like to sit home and make things maybe for yourself, your kids, your grandkids, your family, maybe your coworkers, and you decide that you want to do sublimation, well, here's some things that's going to help you get started. Now, we all know that if you did start sublimation for some while now, if you've been doing it for some time, and you already have your supplies, you already have your vendor and your supplier, then it may be a little bit difficult to switch up. Okay, we're not here to convince you to change suppliers or vendors. That's not what we're here to do. What we are here to do is to share with you that there are some options. Options means that when you start, and I want you to think about something, when you start looking for something, the large corporations, they don't think that we are smart shoppers. Okay, they don't think we're smart shoppers. So what they'll do is they'll finagle you, they'll finesse you, and they'll try to get in your pocketbook by offering you something cheap and inexpensive. And oftentimes what happens is people flock to the stuff that's cheap. But not only is our stuff inexpensive, it is also quality, because cheap doesn't always come with quality. Affordability doesn't always come with quality. So we wanted to offer you some options that you have in front of you. A lot of you are doing sublimation and you are stuck on one particular paper, one particular ink, and you may think that you're getting the greatest results, but I guarantee you guys that you're not getting the best results. So what I want you guys to do is you're coming on, like I said, type a number 1. If it's your first time, type a number 1 in the comments. Don't forget to share your location. We're currently broadcasting from right outside of Columbia, South Carolina. We've been in business for 5 years in this business, coming up in May. And we've been selling our own sublimation paper and sublimation ink for some 3.5 years. Okay. The sublimation paper was tested for several months before we even put it to market. The same thing with the ink. And the sublimation paper that I'm going to share with you, it gives you vibrant colors. It's a high transfer rate, and it does not bleed at all. Okay. So that means that there's no need for butcher paper, while other sublimation papers will have you questioning your ability about your projects coming out. They're coming out dull. A lot of the ink is left on the paper. It's not a high transfer rate, so some of the ink's left on the paper, and it bleeds, which means that you got to go out and you have to buy more products. You got to go out and buy more supplies just so you can sublimate a shirt. That's crazy. That's wild. So what I'm going to do is just in a minute, as we get a little bit more people on here, ask you guys once again, we ask that you like and share the video. We're going to talk about our sublimation paper and ink bundles. Sublimation paper and ink bundles. That's going to save you some money, but it's also going to give you a valuable product. So if you do sublimation, if you're currently sublimating right now, type a number 2 in the comments. I need all the number 2s to show up. If you're currently sublimating, type a number 2 in the comments. Thanks for the likes. I appreciate it. What's going on, Stevie? Thanks for jumping on. If you currently sublimate, type a number 2 in the comments. All right. If you haven't done so, let us know where you're tuning in from. Now, today is February the 2nd. 7 days until the second month of the new year. I did a video yesterday, and you guys can go to our Facebook timeline, our YouTube, Instagram, or our TikTok timeline, and you can go back and look at that video where I did a comparison between our paper and what was known as the #1 selling paper in North America. And I showed you how our paper doesn't bleed, but that one does. So you may need to see that video as well. But also, if you are inclined to do so, we are offering samples of our sublimation paper. Now, if you don't have a printer, please don't ask for a sample. If you're on TikTok, please message us for a sample, okay? Or you can just go to the link in the bio. You can go to the link in the bio. That link tree is going to lead you to a couple of different links. I think if you scroll down, you'll see a link to take you directly to get samples of our sublimation paper. We're going to give you 2 sheets of our sublimation paper as a sample. Then you can actually try our paper compared to what you're actually using. And what I would recommend you do is if you're going to try our paper, use our paper to print off the same image on our paper that you would print on the paper that you're currently using. All right. Now, if you are sublimating and you don't mind sharing, type in the comments the brand that you're currently using. And I'm going to go ahead and get started with our display. Okay. Type in the comments the brand of sublimation that paper that you're using. Anybody want to share? I'm not going to put y'all on the spot, I promise. HTV Ron. Thank you. I appreciate the share. Anyone else? Just looking for a little activity, y'all. What brand paper are you using if you are sublimating? Okay, I'll go with HTV Ron. So I had a young lady yesterday after watching the video. She said, hey, you know what? It's ironic that I use HTV Runt and my paper bleeds. So, Barbara, does your paper bleed? Meaning, do you have to use a butcher paper or parchment paper over your transfer to keep it from bleeding to your heat press? Because that's what a lot of people are experiencing. Bleeding paper, low transfer rate, ghosting. Yes? Okay. Well, not a lot of people can make guarantees, and I don't make a lot of guarantees, but I guarantee you that our paper doesn't bleed. As a matter of fact, once again, I did a quick video showing, well, I did a live yesterday, but I did a quick video showing how our paper compared to A-Sub paper does not bleed. In HTV Run, I don't know who actually makes it, but any paper that bleeds, and a lot of people don't know this, any sublimation paper that bleeds, a lot of people think that that's normal. Why? Because that's what you've been getting. You started using sublimation paper based off of one of your friends that was crafting. Maybe you read some stuff on social media. What's the best paper? Different brands. You may have been shopping by price. I don't know. You may have taken something that someone told you and said, hey, well, this is the brand that I use. But did you ever take another sublimation paper and compare it? Did you know that bleeding sublimation paper is common, but it's not normal? And also, did you know that there's some sublimation papers that just don't bleed? Well, here's the thing. Why should I improve my product if people are buying it anyway? That's a question for the ages. If there's millions of crafters out there looking to craft and save money, all I have to do really, as a corporation, all I really have to do is make a product, make it inexpensive. I'm trying to keep from using the word cheap, but make it cheap and affordable, and people will buy it. Am I about right? Anybody? Is that kind of how it goes? Pretty much. I mean, all you're doing is crafting. That's what you're saying. Well, as I started the live, and I'll say this again, big business and corporations don't think that we're smart shoppers. They don't. They think that we're just penny pitchers and that we don't care about quality. But here at the Blank Spot, we care about quality. So here's what you're going to get in your bundle, okay? You got 4 different bundles to choose from. So depending on the size of your printer, and I'm going to go with the small format first. Depending on the size of your printer, we're going to offer you that size paper. You're going to have that choice to get that size paper. So, but what you're going to get is you're going to get 4 70 millimeter bottles of our sublimation ink. 4 70 millimeter bottles of our sublimation ink, okay? So that is going to be the CMYK. All right, CMYK. Let me slide over to the side a little bit. You're going to get 4 of those bottles. It's going to come in this nice little pretty box, and it's going to be shrink wrapped and everything, so there's no spillage or waste. All right, that's what you're going to get. So with that, you can choose the 8.5 by 11-inch paper, and this is something that we're rebranding our paper brand to. This is the bleed-free sublimation paper, okay? And this paper says basically it's 99% bleed-free, no butcher paper needed, fast drying, and it's 95 to 98% transfer rate. That's what the paper's about. So if you have never tried our paper before, here's a great opportunity to do so. So you can get that bundle, that paper and ink bundle, in 8.5 by 11. It is also available in 8.5 by 14, 11 by 17, 11 by 17, and then last but not least, it's available in 13 by 19. These are your paper and ink bundles. Once again, you're going to get 70 millimeters of ink each, and you choose your bundle, okay? Now, most people have small format printers, and there's nothing wrong with that. These are for the Epson printers. Thank you, Steve. I'm sorry. So this is formulated for Epson printers only. That's the ink, but the paper is good with any printer. The paper doesn't require an ink profile. It doesn't require a compatibility of the printer or anything, okay? Lots of people who are pushing out ink, lots of companies are pushing out ink. They've made that ink mandatory to be able to use only with their printer, okay? And maybe, I guess, their profile. But this ink is perfect for Epson desktop printers, and the paper is perfect for any printer. Now, here's what you're probably thinking. I converted my printer, and there's nothing wrong with that because a lot of y'all converted printers, whether it's an EcoTank or whether it is a Workforce. These Epson printers are great for actually switching over to sublimation. Okay, they're great for conversion. They work. They're quick and they're fast. Well, here's the thing. What about my ink? And what about my paper? The same vendors, the same companies that are out there that are telling you, hey, we know that you're going to convert these printers, so we have a very inexpensive paper and ink for you. But what's the quality looking like? Sometimes you're going to get what looks like a good quality, but if you don't have anything to compare it to, then you won't know, okay? Now, for those of you who have wide format printers, of course, we have the 11 by 17 and the 13 by 19, okay? That's great because a lot of people won't know that we provide the larger formats, all right? But if you're talking about paper rolls, maybe you have a question. We're going to move on a little bit. Maybe you have a question about what else we provide. Maybe you want to do a graduation stall, or maybe you want to do a larger or longer project. We have 8.5-inch paper rolls. These paper rolls are tacky, so they're not fast dry. So that means that these paper rolls are only for fabrics, okay? You don't want to use them with anything other than a garment, all right? That's that 8.5-inch paper roll. And then we have 13-inch paper rolls. The 13-inch paper roll is available in tacky as well. You can use this on any of your desktop printers. And if you have a larger format printer, you can use these as well because they have the little core in it. But for the people who have the F570s, if you're walking around with the F570 and you can print a wider format, then guess what? we have the 24-inch fast drying sublimation paper. So we got a couple of different options for you, but I want to get back to the people who may be just jumping on, wondering what I'm talking about. This is the blanks spot. We're talking about our sublimation paper and ink bundles. A lot of people didn't know that we sell ink and paper. You get there to the website and you get to what you want and you don't go any further. Well, these ink and paper bundles are available, and they've been available for a while, but it's a great value. Okay, it's a great value. What happens is you got to use the ink has to be used with the Epson desktop printer. That's what it's formulated for. Okay, you're talking about vibrant colors. You're talking about bright outputs. You're talking about the paper with fast drying. It's a great transfer rate, and it doesn't bleed. So I'm going to do another poll by a show of numbers. Drop a number 2. Drop a number 2 in the comments if you do sublimation. I want to see who else has jumped on. If you do sublimation, drop a number 2 in the comments. All the prices are going to be on the website. If you can make it to the website, you're gonna have to make it to the website to see the prices. Unfortunately, and I'm talking to people that are on TikTok, unfortunately, it's not a TikTok shop, so you can't just push a button to see a picture. But you can go to the link. You can go to the link in the bio. Go to the link on the bio, and you can shop with us right there. So everything is on our website. We're not just selling out the back of our trunk. Okay. So you saw us do it on YouTube. Cool. So if you do sublimation, you drop the number 2, you do sublimation. Are you currently using a paper that bleeds? Yes or no? Are you currently using a paper that you have to use butcher paper? Because if you saw this on YouTube, then you probably saw this video that we actually did a test just now. So Phyllis says no. Okay, so Phyllis, you're using a paper that doesn't bleed. Congratulations. If you are using the paper that bleeds, that means that you may have an extra cost. Okay, you may have an extra cost. That means that your paper may not cost a lot. You may be paying less for your paper, but you got an extra cost. You got to pay for butcher paper, or you have to pay for portion paper. So if you're using A-sub paper bleeds. Our paper doesn't bleed. Once again, if you guys are looking to get a sample of the paper, if you're on TikTok, you can go to the link in the description. In that link, you'll have a link that says free sample. Okay, you'll see free sample. Once you see free sample, you can go ahead and follow that link, and you can fill out the information so you can get a free sample of our sublimation paper. Only thing we ask is that you have a printer. Don't just take the sample and you can't use it. All right. Any questions about our sub paper? We got some other people on here. Okay, y'all snuck in over there on me on Instagram. So this video is specifically dedicated to talking about our sublimation ink and paper bundles. Okay, this is what this is for. This video is specifically for our ink and paper bundles. We got 4 different ink and paper bundles: 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 14, 11 by 17, and 13 by 19. Okay. Unfortunately, the ink, you won't be able to sample it. You actually have to purchase it, but the ink is vibrant. We use this ink. We've been using this ink for the last 3.5, almost 4 years. We use it in our larger printers, and we also use it in our desktop printers. That's only if you're looking for a vibrant outcome. Let me see if I can find something that I had yesterday. Give me 1 second. So this may not mean anything to anyone here. But yesterday, I did a demonstration. I'm going to show you guys over here first. I don't know if you guys can tell, but right there where it says black and the A is split, one side is brighter than the other. That's our paper. That is the difference between what you see and what you actually get. Most people see the BL side of their paper. That's what most people see. Most people see the BL side of their paper. So what I want you guys to do, once you purchase our paper, I want you to print the same designs out on your current paper and also on our paper. And I want you to press them simultaneously. Cut it in half and press it simultaneously, like I did. And you'll get this result. These are the results that you get. Do you see how that red looks red on the right side, the CK? And how that BL, it looks like it's a little bit of orange. Can y'all see that? Those are the differences. And you won't be able to know that unless you try a different paper. You won't know that unless you try a different paper. So save some money, because once again, you won't need as much butcher paper. And when you use your butcher paper now, you may be using butcher paper for other things. It won't be to stop it from bleeding at the top of your heat press. You may be saying, hey, you know what? I have a whole pack. I just bought a whole pack of that other paper. I'm going to ask you something. You may currently have paper that you're using, but I want you to think about it. Are you actually saving money by continuing to use that paper? Because the more of that paper that you use that needs butcher paper, the more butcher paper you're going to use, and you're going to start to deplete that butcher paper. It's time to make the switch. It really is, because once you know, you cannot unknow. Once you see, you cannot unsee. Once you find out that there's something better, and you choose now consciously, once you choose the part of the you make the decision to choose the part or the thing that's not better, then that's your choice. I make custom tumblers. Would it pop on that? It's gonna pop on anything that you do. I don't know why it would be different from a tumbler than a fabric. But once again, you're gonna have to be willing. You're gonna have to be willing to test it so you can see the difference. And what happens is, if you are a business owner, this may make sense to you. If you're just crafting, it may not make that much sense to you. You may say, hey, I got this crafting stuff, and I'm not going to get rid of it. But if you're making items like, drinkware, if you're making fabrics, if you're sublimating, then it's going to only make sense. As a matter of fact, imagine taking half of that tumbler, one that may be damaged, taking half of that tumbler and sublimating it with your current sublimation paper, and then sublimating it with our paper. The colors are going to be different. These transfers were printed on the same printer with the same print settings. They were printed on the same printer with the same print settings. This side is A-Sub. This side is our paper. Now, you ask me if it's going to pop on your tumbler. I'm going to throw something back at you. You probably think it was popping on your sublimation tumbler with the current paper that you use, because you had nothing to compare it to. So these bundles are ready. They're available. Once again, you're going to get 70 millimeters of ink each. You're going to get 70 millimeters of ink each in this bundle, all 4 colors. Okay. And then you get access to either 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 14, 11 by 17, or 13 by 19. That is your bundle. MTS. Make the switch. Thanks, Steve. I appreciate it. I like that. Make the switch. Let larger companies, let larger corporations, let big business know that you are smart shoppers. Let them know that you found out that there's different options out there. Because like I said before, man, if you continue to do the same thing and you continue to expect the different results, that's just basically insanity. A lot of people won't notice it. If your customer sees your projects and they say, hey, it looks great, they won't notice it. But as a business owner, I think, because I know we do, we take pride in what we do. We take pride in what we sell. And imagine being able to sell and offer them something that looks much better. Not only does it look faded, what you probably currently have, not only does it look faded, but it's gonna fade faster. You know, it's gonna look bad. If I switch, how does that affect my printer? That's a great question, but I'm gonna be very, very clear and direct. As long as it's sublimation ink, it's not gonna affect your printer at all. The problem is, here's the issue. You won't really be able to see the different results if you keep that ink in there. Can you mix inks? Absolutely. As long as it's sublimation ink, as long as it's formulated, it's not going to hurt your printer. I haven't been watching the commercials or the advertisements of the other companies that are sharing their products. So I don't know what they're telling y'all. Hey, if you make the switch, once you start using this particular ink, you have to keep using it. That's not true. That's not true. It's just like saying, hey, as long as it's formulated for that printer, it's not an issue. You were told that? I'm sure you were. And you were probably either told that by somebody who's using that ink and somebody else told them, or somebody who's selling that ink. But that's pretty ludicrous. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty ludicrous. Someone just emailed how much is the ink. Wow. So please go to the website. I don't know if you guys are on here right now. You can go to the website. It's not going to bite you. You can go to the website and you can type in ink. You can go to the website and look specifically how much the ink is. It's not, you guys are smart. It's just like shopping with everybody else. It may be convenient for you guys to ask these types of questions, and maybe it's convenient because we're live right now. But I'm kind of wondering, when you bought that ink when you bought that sublimation ink and that sublimation paper, did you see an ad with somebody live, and were you able to ask questions about it, or did you just go ahead and buy it because somebody said it was good? I used to work for a major brand, and they mix different ones. No issue. Yeah, it's not an issue. The only issue that you guys have that you don't know that you have is that you converted a printer, and that print head is working hard because it's converted. But that's a real serious question, though, y'all. For the smaller business owners, help us out. If you see something, if you want to buy something, you can simply go to a website and search it. Kind of like with any other platform. So it's real easy to find our products. Our website is available on every platform that I'm broadcasting on right now. Anybody new to the platform that they're on right now? Anybody new to TikTok? Anybody new to Facebook? Anybody new to YouTube or Instagram? Your first time on here? Anybody? Not just our page, but anybody new to the platform? No? I got one no. Do you guys know how to look at business owners' profiles to find their link to shop with them? Is that a problem? Facebook? No? Okay. No problem. It's really quite simple. It's really quite simple. Just look it up. See, had I said that, it wouldn't sound like that. Somebody said, just look it up. And wow. Yeah. So the name of our company is The Blank Spot. The same as the profile that you see on TikTok. You'll be able to go to the link in the description and you'll be able to order. On Facebook and YouTube. Inside the caption, there is a link. One's going to lead you to the bundles, and one is going to lead you to sublimation paper and essentials. There's a couple other things that we sell as well. We sell our own heat tape. It's yellow, just like the other heat tape that you see. The only difference is ours doesn't stain. All right. We sell our own. We sell heat gloves. We sell ink tape dispensers. It's a lot of stuff that we sell that people don't know because we don't always have time to talk about everything. But I wanted to come on today, and I'm going to be coming on more often, specifically talking about a certain product that we have because although we're scaling back on the things that we carry, the stuff that we do carry, we want you guys to know. So if you're just jumping on, we're going to do a repeat again. We're going to do this again. And I may stay a little while longer. I don't know. We are offering sublimation paper and ink bundles. So if you do sublimation and you have not identified yourself, if you do sublimation, type a number 2 in the comments. Everyone out here that does sublimation, if you haven't identified yourself, type a number 2 in the comments. And then the next question is going to be, if you do sublimation, because you type that number 2 and you do sublimation, what paper are you currently using? Does that paper bleed? Are you required to use some type of butcher paper or parchment paper to keep it from bleeding? Jennifer, so does that A-sub paper bleed for you, Jennifer? Do you have to have butcher paper or parchment paper to stop that bleeding? I'm just taking a poll right now. You do. Okay. So when you bought your sublimation paper, and I wish I can get someone to come on to talk about the paper that they're using, that A-sub paper. I wish I can get someone. Does anybody want to volunteer to come on and talk about their current choice? I would love to have that conversation with you. Because the next question I would have is, do you think you're saving money by using that paper that bleeds? Your sub paper doesn't bleed? Are you using our paper or somebody else's paper? Brother, using brother paper, does it bleed? If your sub paper doesn't bleed, then that doesn't mean you still can't you can't use our paper. But if it doesn't bleed, or if you want to use our ink, there's still an option. So if you're using paper that bleeds, twisting things. Let's see if I can get you to. So I'm trying to see if I can get a live testimony. Let me see if I can get somebody on here. I don't know. Uh-oh. I think we may have some action. Hey.
Hello.
How are you?
Fine, you?
I am better than amazing. Thank you for asking. We got a little reverb. I don't know what that is. You hear the echoing?
Yeah, I need to turn on my speaker. I just came from being live.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
So that's why.
Well, I appreciate you engaging with me right now.
Let me go in the other room. Okay. Is it better now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I appreciate you coming on to engage with me. Thank you. So do me a favor. Can you tell me a little bit about what you do and where you're located?
Yes. I guess I do several things. I do phone cases. I do sweatshirts, T-shirts, and I'm a crafter, crocheting it, whatever. I'm in West Bloomfield, Michigan. I'm an illustrator by trade, so I come from major company dealing in textiles and electronics, and we dealt with paint and things like that.
Okay, so you have a wide understanding about what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so I can tell subtle differences, but I'm not. But now, when it comes to printing, that's not my strong point. But I do know the differences with the papers. Well, and I don't mind switching up because, like you say, you start wasting stuff. If it's not working, why keep using it? Because you're using more ink that's, not getting the job done.
And I was going to that point next. So I appreciate your honesty about the printing. So I wasn't raised in this industry as a crafter. My wife was, and she introduced this information to me, and then we started a business some 5 years ago. This business some 5 years ago. She was in business before then. But my understanding is more along the lines of printing. So I had to understand the paper as well, right? So that ink and that paper is a combination. Hey, Lamar, thanks for jumping on. Peace, Brian. Thanks for jumping on. Though that ink and that paper is a combination. And what happens a lot of times, and I hate to make it sound like that I'm putting down another company's product, but they're doing that for themselves because if somebody else comes along to make something a little bit better, you would think that after a while it would be some type of improvement. So anyway, I digress. That paper and that ink is a combination. They work together to create a project, right?
Yes.
What type of printer do you currently have?
The Brother.
Okay, you have a Brother, and that's an actual sublimation printer.
Yes, it is.
So I can actually talk to you about sublimation printer. Have you ever had a converted printer?
No, I have not. I've seen people, I've seen videos on people doing it, but I haven't done it.
Okay, so the difference between an actual sublimation printer and an actual printer that is converted to be used for sublimation is a couple of things. One, the images and the colors are going to come out differently. So you won't know that because you never had a converted printer. We have. So okay, the images are going to come out differently. But if I've only known a converted printer and I make a project and I go on social media, specifically a Facebook group that talks about beginner crafters, right? Mm-hmm. And I say, hey, look what I made. Everybody's going to say, oh, it looks so vibrant. But the majority of those folks are using printers that have been converted. And nothing's wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. There's levels. There's even levels to converting printers, y'all. The lowest level.
2 or 3 different
ways of doing it. The lowest level of conversion is going to be the eco tank, and not the larger number, the 2800 series. That's going to be a lower version. Okay. The next version would be when you start getting into the 3000 series, 4000 series, the 5000s, and then these are all desktop printers. And then you start talking about the workforces. Why am I saying that? Because every printer, whether I have an EcoTank 2800 over here or I have one over here, I can print the same image on both of those printers and I can get a different image. A lot of people don't know that. So what we did was, when we first created our ink, we wanted to make sure we were going to accommodate people who were not going to buy actual sublimation printers.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying this as nicely as I can.
Oh yeah, because a lot of people are doing the vinyl, and that's what they usually talk about. They don't talk about sublimation as much, so I had to do trial and error on sublimation because I had the background on the other end, but they don't talk about sublimation. You know, the ins and outs. And
the reason why they don't talk about it, in my opinion, is because sublimation is a little bit more complex than cutting vinyl. It's a lot more complex. It's a science. You can sublimate. 2 of us can sublimate the same thing, printing an image off 2 different printers or the same printers, and have the same ink. But what's the difference? The environment, the temperature.
Oh, I've used 2 different types of paper before, and side by side, I can see the difference. Even in the color.
And that's something that I did yesterday. When I did a live, I showed 2 different papers, same image, 2 different papers on the same printer. And this is what I got. So we won't know what colors are vibrant unless we actually are able to do side by side. Something else that you said, if you are currently working as a business owner and you're looking to give your customers the best products possible, and you find a better product and you can save a couple of dollars, why wouldn't you do that? Most people are not going to see it like that because we are afraid to get rid of a decision that we made that wasn't a good decision.
Oh, I got over that a long time ago. If you're in business, I got all kind of samples of stuff that didn't work, and it didn't bother me because it's a learning experience and I know what not to use. So I have a budget set aside just to try out stuff.
So you are a unicorn. You are unique.
It bothered me that if I bought.
Well, I will say this, something that you said, that if you are using that paper that is not as good of a paper, not only are you wasting.
If I get something that's cost effective,
and I think you keep cutting in and out. I'm sorry, because I stepped on you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I think you keep cutting in and out. Go ahead and finish your repeat your sentence again, please.
It's my internet.
Okay. But yeah, go ahead and say what you said again, please.
What I was saying was I don't have a problem with buying stuff and finding out it doesn't work and getting rid of it, because that's my brand and that's my name. And why keep using something that doesn't work? So I have a certain budget that I have set aside, so many samples that I do from the beginning before I decide on something. So that's not a problem. I'm not the type that, oh, I got this, I gotta go use it up. That's just, if it ain't working, it ain't working.
And I would say, not to get too deep into the weeds, but I would say that that's still a crafter type mentality. Someone, like you said, who's not taking their brand seriously, or someone who may even be in business, but they're not saying, hey, you know what, my name is on this, so I need to give the best possible quality within my business budget. So I get that. And maybe some people are stuck in that business budget. But what I want to come on here today and remind people is this. Let's say the paper that you're purchasing cost you about $20. $20 for, I think they're bringing you like 110 sheets of paper.
Yeah, that's average.
That sounds like value. Okay. So now I'm going to use this sublimation paper, and I use it on my first project, but I don't know that the paper bleeds. So the first thing I have to do after I find out that it bleeds, because I'm going to find out on the next project, because it's going to transfer to my substrate, right? So,
correct. But see,
go ahead.
Your equipment costs too much money to be allowed, not to be.
Hey, but here's the thing. So I'm a novice. I'm new. So now I find out that it bleeds. I clean my heat press. I do everything. Right. Now I have to make another purchase. So I just spent $20 plus shipping and handling on some inexpensive product that everybody has been talking about is the best, right?
Right.
And then I have to buy another product to compensate using this product. So I didn't just spend $20 on sublimation paper. I ultimately spent $35 on sublimation paper because I had to buy another $15 worth of butcher paper. So that one pack of paper that bleeds didn't cost you $20. It actually cost you $35. Now, are you going to need butcher paper on other projects? Absolutely. But every time I do a garment, or I do maybe some coasters or keychains or something that's smaller, that my transfer is going to be a little bit, I'm going to have to use my butcher paper anyway to protect the bottom. But on top of that, I now have to use it every time I do something on top and bottom. So I'm using more paper. But the common mind is saying it's only $20. But it's not only $20. If we're talking about saving money, it's not only $20. It's $20 plus the cost of buying something to keep from damaging your heat press. And that's where I think a lot of people lose sight. Not to mention, it's a decision that was made. I made a decision that wasn't a great choice, and I got to eat that choice. That's what business is about. If you're a crafter, you may not agree, but if you're a business owner, you got to understand that sometimes we got to eat that cost to get in a better position. I wanted you to come on because you were interacting with me in the live, and I appreciate it. It's challenging sometimes, no matter how many followers you have. Sometimes it's challenging to get people to interact with you, especially if you're not doing something that they want to see.
Oh, I know. People just sometimes stare at you.
Yeah.
You're just talking and you don't know if they get it or not. So that's why I try to do that, because I go live and it happens to me. So I try to interact, and forgive me if I interact too much. I don't want to do that, but I do that because I know how it is.
No, you can. I don't think you can ever interact too much on someone's live, especially if it's their first time, or if they're used to, being on by themselves. That just kind of helps the live along. So I appreciate you. One thing I would ask and just let you know and everybody else know, we are offering samples. Okay, you can get a free sample. You can get a free sample. We're going to give you 2 sheets of our sublimation paper, okay, to sample. If you guys would like to do that before you commit to making a purchase, we don't care, man. We're going to be here all for the next 15, 20 years. We're not going anywhere. All right, that's our goal. But this is the irony of it. The irony of it is this: as a smaller business owner here on social media platforms, we have been subjected to literally begging people to take a sample to try our paper so you can see that it's better than the one that you currently use, when many of you didn't buy samples of the first paper that you're using right now.
Exactly.
That was kind of dramatic. I wanted to be dramatic to get close to the computer so you guys can see. Many of you moved on a purchase and you didn't get a sample. It was just based off of your girlfriend, your guy friend, your crafting group, your crafting buddy, cousins, uncles, aunts, and these social media groups that say, hey, crafting for beginners. Y'all gonna get enough of going to these crafting group for beginners and asking them real world questions.
Oh, I've gotten in trouble. Because I don't know. Now I'm glad you brought it up, the difference between the craft and business. I didn't know the difference, and until you start asking questions.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you start realizing, oh, okay, let me back off because we're in a different wavelength. I'm not using the right word. The focus is different. It's hard to talk to them at the same level because you have a different
understanding.
You try to do something different. They might just be doing one thing at home and it don't. Whereas I'm doing volume, not large volume, but just I'm doing more than one, so I need to be particular.
And think about it.
Before I make that mistake.
And think about it. Not just that. It's not just the volume. Think about it. There's lots of crafters out there that are doing lots of volume. However, they're not selling anything. It brings them joy.
Oh, yeah,
that part.
Yeah.
So nothing against that person or personality. You know, we attract a lot of people who are crafting. We know and understand that crafters, most of them are on budgets. They're on fixed incomes. Some people are on disability. Some people are trying to do it under the table to make a couple of extra dollars. We understand that. For that reason, we have a lot of products that will attract crafters to our business. And let's be honest, most business owners are not looking for us. They're looking for direct sources. So we understand that as well. So now our goal is to not just meet the crafter where they are, price point, availability, affordability, and quality, but our goal is also to meet the business owner where they are and say, hey, listen, I realize you're looking for a better deal. I realize you're a business owner. Hey, check this out. Do you have an EIN? If you do, fill out the proper paperwork and we'll go ahead and, because we collect EINs. We love EINs. Do the correct paperwork and we will knock those taxes off, right? That's what we're talking about. So that's for business owners. There's benefits to shopping with companies like us who actually
I do that with the people who I do vinyl. If I don't feel like doing it myself, I'll upload my graphics and I have them do a gang sheet for me.
Yeah.
And they'll do, I just give them my EIN number, so it helps me with my taxes as well. Helps
you with your costs, right? Grand Rising, thanks for jumping on, Barry. Appreciate you coming on. So also, since you mentioned gang sheets, I don't want to leave that service out. We do offer sublimation gang sheets. We have about 5. Our largest gang sheet is a 44 by 60 inch gang sheet. Put whatever you want on it, load up whatever you want, as long as it fits on the gang sheet. You send it, we print it, and you're good to go. You're out the door. So for you, what size is your brother printer?
It's 8.5 by 11.
So it's a smaller format. Okay. You say you do a lot of tumblers. On average, how many tumblers do you think you do a month?
No, I don't do tumblers.
I'm sorry.
I do phone cases.
Phone cases. So on average, how many phone cases do you think you do a month?
About 40.
That's your biggest seller, the phone case?
Yeah, I don't see people like to be more customized on that,
Mm-hmm.
and it's hard for me to. So I don't spend a lot of time doing it. I do it as a service because I sell other accessories that are related to the phone.
Gotcha. Maybe the little thingies that go on the back, the poppers and stuff.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do the tethers with the wristlets and the lanterns, and I do the stadium. The little cases that you hang your phone case onto it.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
that's only why I do it.
So the reason why I was asking, because I wanted to kind of put it in perspective as far as the gang sheet was concerned. And I'm sure you're familiar with the gang sheet.
Mm-hmm.
On your 8.5 by 11, you can probably put maybe two to four phone cases on there.
Right.
On a gang sheet, let's say you had a 13 by 40, a 24 by 24, a 24 by 60, a 44 by 40, or 44 by 60. If you were actually advertising a generic transfer, you can come to us and say, hey, these are the gang sheets. This is the gang sheet that I want. These are the images that I'm putting on there. And you can just print. Two things happens. One, it saves your printer.
Right.
It saves the wear and tear on your printer. Because although you have a sublimation printer, because it's a smaller format printer, it's used mainly for smaller jobs.
Right.
When you feel like you have that heavy load or that high usage, that's when you want to start. And this is for everybody. It's when you want to start considering outsourcing. Now what
Right.
happens?
And that's what I do with the vinyl.
Yeah.
When I don't want to do it in house because I have more volume on that than I do.
So
'Cause I do
people,
the sweatshirts and the t-shirts.
so have you ever
for-
have you ever? And I'm kind of segueing away from this. Have you ever done anything transfers other than vinyl and sublimation?
Oh, embroidery and Chanel
But no,
patches.
but no iron-on transfers other than vinyl type.
Correct.
Okay.
That's why it's interesting. I haven't done any shirts or sweatshirts with sublimations.
Okay. So
because most of the ones that the question I don't mean to interrupt.
No.
So the question that I have is, when you get into the vinyl, that's usually when you get into the cotton.
Yes.
And now when you get into the sublimation, the different material, and usually I haven't dealt with vendors that handle the polyester. You know what I'm getting at? Like, you know how you buy your sweatshirts and hoodies in volume?
Yeah.
I haven't never done that, and I don't have a supplier that deals with a lot of the polyester. I have the ones that knows to deal with the cotton.
So we do carry our own sublimation shirts. We don't have a lot of polyester hoodies in stock left, but we do carry our own sublimation shirts. We keep those in stock year round. If you're interested, after this, you can email us, and we can give you a quote on a certain amount. We do have bundles of fives, sizes small through 5X. So that's an option for you. And just like anything else, I would recommend you buy a shirt, try it out, see what the quality of it is. I'm sure you're gonna like it. I'm sure you're gonna love it.
Yeah, I'm sure it'd be, the fact that you kind of have everything connected. I'm sure your quality would be great. Yeah. That's what I do on other stuff because I run into issues. That's why I might buy more than one vendor. Yeah. I try stuff out. It's not that there's anything wrong with it. I just have preferences. Sometimes it's just a preference.
Well, I mean, it's smart too. You definitely want to, and we're segueing away from what we were talking about. I like this conversation where it's going. You want to have more than one vendor just in case something happens to the other one too. The other thing where I was going with your vinyl, would you be interested in? Before I ask this, okay, so when you do vinyl, is it the customer's request or is it something that you're just comfortable with?
To be honest,
please be honest.
Oh, I know I should say that. Like if I'm not going to be honest.
Nah.
It's not the customer don't even get into all that. Really, for me, it's the material that I'm using that I can get in bulk.
Okay.
I'm not sold on buying. In fact, I'm just trying to get away from some of that because some people who do care are not doing vinyl. From what I know, they are going to like more embroidery.
Yeah.
And then the other thing you get into is, I'm not versed in sublimation, but is there anything like an all over kind of print situation you can do with those?
Yeah, we offer 3D prints. That's a part of our service that we provide. We offer 3D prints. We also offer on our custom website, we also offer the business owner to business owner option to outsource to us to do the 3D shirts. There's options. Sublimation is not just shirts, and I'm glad you're talking about that, because a lot of people, if they're only doing shirts or apparel, then that's all they want to talk about. But there's so many different things that you can do and use with sublimation. So when we do this, we have 44-inch wide printers. So when we do this, we print out one full sheet. All right. If you decide that you want to press it yourself, hey, by all means. If you decide that you want us to press it, we'll send you to our custom side. There, if you are a business owner, we're going to offer you the business-to-business options. Then you know what the requirements are. And then if you are just a regular customer, end-user customer, you got to pay the piper. Retail.
I saw something on your website that was intriguing to me, which I don't know if you're still offering it. It's a good thing for, I guess, Mother's Day. It was like a portrait thing with mom on the side.
Yeah, those frames. Those frames.
Yeah, that was interesting.
I'm not sure. I got to check the stock. I don't know what we have in stock. I think we do have some still in stock, but those are just photo frames. Those are just MDF photo frames, and they are for sublimation. But you can do anything to it. You can put, well, I'm not gonna say anything. You can put sublimation on it. If you want to put sticker vinyl on it, you can do that. If you want to put adhesive vinyl on it, you can cover it with adhesive vinyl. I've not seen anybody do any DTF with it. I don't know why you would want to. Probably someone who doesn't really understand the different processes, but there's lots of different things that you can do to that. But yeah.
Well, thank you. I'm talking. I'm sure other people got questions, but I appreciate it.
I
don't know how to get down.
I promise you they don't. Look, I promise you they don't, but I appreciate you too. I'll take you down, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Bye bye. Let me get you off of here. My bad. All right, guys. So we just had a whole conversation, man, about business outside of what we were talking about here with sublimation. And I think I might come back on and talk about the different transfer processes, because we got different transfers. And I didn't want to go too deep with that young lady. I appreciate her coming on, but there's different options as far as transfers, and every transfer has its process. So I'm going to come back on later on. Hopefully I can get some traction, but I'm going to come back later on and talk about some of the different transfer processes and what we can actually do with that to make money. But as I come to an end with this video, I like to thank everybody who came on and who stayed. If you were new to our platform and you did not identify yourself and you see this video, type a number 1 in the comments if you're new. Also drop that city and state or your country of origin and location. Thank you, John. I appreciate it. You got your stickers. I'm glad, man. I'm glad you're happy. And then also remember that we are a business owner. Oftentimes we get stuck, get put with that crafting realm or that crafting mindset. And people think that we are crafters, but we're not. We're business owners. And we just have to keep reminding people that we are a legitimate business. But the topic of the day was and is our sublimation ink and paper bundles. Sublimation ink and paper bundles. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. You can get your sublimation ink and paper bundle. They're available in 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 14, 11 by 17, and 13 by 19. If you're on Facebook and or YouTube, the link to shop with us is in the description. It's in that caption. It's in that description. If you're on TikTok still and you're looking, go to the link in the bio. Go to the link in the bio, and you'll find our paper and items right there in that link. Just scroll down or just go to the website. We also have roll paper. We have 8 8.5-inch tacky paper and 13-inch tacky paper. If you guys are interested, the paper is good for any printer. The ink is only formulated for Epson desktop printers. And last but not least, we have 24-inch fast dry sublimation paper. That's a 100-foot roll. Okay, these are 328, and this is a 100-foot roll. So, go shop till you drop, man. That's what we're here for. Make sure you understand that our paper is fast drying. Most of our paper is fast drying, especially the packs are fast drying. It's a 99% transfer rate, and 95 to 98% transfer rate, and it's 99% bleed free. Our paper does not bleed, therefore you don't need butcher paper. If you don't believe me, try it. If you want a sample, message me if you're on Instagram, sample, or you can go to the link in the description and then scroll down until you see sample paper. We'll send you a sample out on us. We're taking care of the shipping too. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, go ahead and you can type in sample, or Instagram, you type in sample, and we'll shoot you guys a sample and get it out to you so you can compare what we're sharing to what you actually have. Like I always say, guys, when you know better, that's when you have the ability to do better. And the only knowledge that's powerful is properly applied knowledge. We'll see each and every one of you guys at the top, because there's entirely too many people struggling unnecessarily at the bottom. Peace.